Hi there, I'm Chrystal with Big Sexy Chat Podcast. I'm the host, and I've had this podcast for about 4 years. And I used to do it with my friend Murph, but she had to take a break. So currently I'm doing Big Sexy Chat by myself. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm also trying to improve on our YouTube channel. And so I want to make a video tonight about 6 ways to get treated really nicely when you go see a doctor instead of getting treated like shit. That's probably not a very good title, but I do want to talk about these 6 tips that I've learned over the years, making sure that I get the treatment that I need when I go see my doctor and not getting bad medical care. The people that are supposed to not do any harm sometimes do harm just because they don't know how to treat fat babes like us. So my first tip, bring a friend. When you bring a friend, they have a witness. They won't be as nasty to you. They'll be much nicer. Also, it helps a lot to have a second person with you at the doctor's office because they hear a bunch of things that you don't hear. You hear things they don't hear, and you can get back together afterwards and talk about it and make sure you both heard everything correctly. So it's nice to have another set of ears. 4 ears instead of 2. And then they're going to be a lot nicer because there's a witness, and so they probably aren't going to treat you like shit, which is my goal. It's so crazy, but sometimes when you get really good medical care, you feel like you won the lottery, but it shouldn't feel like that. We should always get treated really well when we go to the doctor's office, and we shouldn't be dismissed and treated like crap just because we're fat. They're not better than us because they're thin. Some people are just naturally thin. Some people are naturally fat, right? So anyway, sometimes people make it a moral decision or a moral judgment about our bodies, and that pisses me off. So anyway, okay, second thing, request to not have your weight taken. Now, if they tell me at the end of my appointment that they need my weight because we're going to do something with medication or surgeries or scheduling something and they really have to have my weight, then by all means, take my weight. But when I first get there, I don't like going through the rigmarole of first sit down and take your blood pressure, then take your weight, and then put you in the room. I just say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to have my blood pressure taken today until the end of my appointment. And I really don't want to have my weight taken unless my doctor feels like I need it because of she's prescribing me medication. But also, my weight's pretty well documented here because I've had a lot of surgeries, a lot of medical care here. People pretty much know what I weigh there. I know the physician's assistant or the CNA or whoever does that work when you first get there. I know that kind of puts them off a little bit because they're used to having their routine. Walk in, sit you down, take your blood pressure, stand you up, take your weight, put you in the room. I don't want to do it that way. And so I'm as polite as possible, and I just say, I'm sorry, I'd rather not today. If they push, I'll just say, no, not today. I'm sorry, I really don't want to have my blood pressure or my weight taken out here in the middle of the hallway. And then also I like to have my blood pressure taken at the end because I know it's going to be a lot better. So tip number 3, request a larger cuff. Sometimes they'll tell me, oh, Chrystal, your arms aren't that fat though. Just go ahead. No, I'm a larger person. Even if my arms aren't that fat, the rest of me is. I'm a larger person. I'm a large human. I need the larger cuff. And when they use the larger cuff, you have a better reading. So it won't read as high. And I know sometimes they really are annoyed. You have to go get a larger cuff. They just want to do the smaller cuff. They want to do it on your forearm. No. Go get me a larger cuff. I deserve to have the tools that they need to use with my body. I shouldn't have to beg for having just the bare minimum, because really having the right size cuff is really the bare minimum. So don't be afraid. Just ask politely. That's what I do. I'm sure a lot of you do the same thing I do. When I go to the doctor's office, I put on my cutest outfit. I perform femininity. I perform nice girl, not going to be too rude until they push me. But you know what I mean? We all kind of put our armor on. I'm sure you do the same thing. But yeah, don't be afraid to ask for what you need. The thing about the larger cuff too is that you're going to get a better reading. And I just have them do it at the end of my appointment. When I first arrive at the doctor's office, I'm sure you're the same way. I'm all, jumbled up. I'm already have my, nervous system working overtime, just waiting for someone to say something mean to me so I can be prepared with a comeback. And I'm sure you're the same way. I say, if you really want to take it today, I'd prefer you take it at the end of my appointment. First of all, I'll have talked to my doctor. She or he will have brought me back to my center. And I feel like it's a better time because I'm going to have calmed down. They're going to have calmed my nerves. They're going to calm my worries about whatever I have going on with me. At the end of my appointment, I always get much, much better readings. Sure, the person has to wheel the machine in there. I'm not settling for second-class service anymore when it comes to my health, right? Remember, when you do your blood pressure, you need to be seated. You should have your feet flat on the ground. They want to take it through 2 or 3 times, that's fine. But don't let them chase you down the hallway. It happened to me once. I'm like, you can't take my blood pressure while I'm walking. Even the doctor got really mad at this lady at this doc-in-a-box kind of quick clinic. And he was like, what are you doing to this poor lady? Oh, she didn't believe my blood pressure was good. She thought for sure this fatty's going to have high blood pressure. And at the time I didn't. And I was like, bitch. So anyway, the doctor gave her a little talking to because you have to be seated to have your blood pressure taken. Make sure you're seated comfortably. Don't sit in a chair that doesn't fit you. If they don't have a chair that fits you, have them go find one. I don't want to sit there have my blood pressure taken with those chairs digging into my big hips. I want a chair that's comfortable for me and my body. That way I can relax when I'm having my blood pressure taken. When I relax to have my blood pressure taken, I try to think about those beautiful blue water waves and beautiful ocean like in Tahiti or in Aruba, coral blue, or oh, it's so beautiful at teal. That's what I try to think of when I'm having my blood pressure taken. Try to calm down, because going to the doctor is very nerve-wracking, especially as a fat person. Next, number 5, if you have to give a pee sample, ask for a hat. It's called a hat. It's just this little plastic thing you set in the commode. You put the lid down and you put the little thingy over it. Then you sit down, you pee. The whole big cup catches it in the hat. And then you take the big cup of pee and you pour it in that little tiny little pill bottle. Sometimes they want you to just try to pee in that little pill bottle. I cannot do it. So I say, could I please have a hat? Then I take the hat, I put it in the toilet, pee into the hat, pour the hat, pee into the little pill bottle. Make sure you put the lid on super duper tight. Put it in the bag with your label. Put it in that weird little door. Slam the door and then go about your day. Wash your hands. Go about your day. Don't forget to wash your hands. Very important. Last but not least, when you ask your doctor for a test and they say, oh no, I don't think so. Oh, okay, sure, no problem. I feel like I might have PCOS or PMOS. I really would like to have a blood test. No, you don't have PCOS. You don't need a blood test. Oh, no problem. Sure. Could you just document that in my file that I asked for a blood test, but you don't want to give it to me? And they seem to kind of get a little more interested in giving you that test. Maybe they don't, but at least it's documented. You say, well, I did ask my doctor 2 or 3 times if I could have this one blood work done. And y'all keep saying no. Helps to have it documented. So again, they work for you. It's okay to ask them to document that. It might piss them off. Who cares? You need it to be documented. You need to know that you're serious. You're going to advocate for yourself. So I like to say, oh, sure, no problem. Because I like to be really nice and perform being nice. It's not easy for me. Perform being nice and then get what I need from my doctor's appointment and then go home. And so I like to make sure I do all 6 of those things before I go to a doctor's visit. I'm a little bit stronger now, so I don't need to take a person with me because I don't take any shit anymore. I'm 58 and I'm in menopause. So I don't need to take a friend anymore, but I used to feel nervous about not being able to ask for what I needed. So anyway, please check out my podcast, Big Sexy Chat. If you go to bigsexychat.com, it'll ask you for your email if you want to get my newsletter. And if you ever have any questions or you want to suggest something to me, email me at bigsexychatpod@gmail.com. And again, my name is Chrystal. Thanks, y'all. Good night.